Carolyn Dube here. What's the play for today? Well, today, I gotta tell you, before we even get into this video, I'm feeling a little loopy. I'm kind of going stir crazy with the social isolation. I mean, I'm glad we're all staying safe, and that's most important. But wow, are my art supplies helping to keep me sane right now. And I decided, if I'm curious about my sanity, I should probably administer some kind of test to make sure that everything's okay, right? So I decided to give myself a rainbow Rorschach test using a gel plate. So let's see what happens when we mush a bunch of colors together, what we're all gonna see in these things. I'm going to start by putting some color here on the plate, and I'm going to put the entire rainbow on here, and I'm just putting little blobs, globs, smears of paint. And I'm not really thinking about what this is going to look like or what it's going to do. I'm just kind of sticking the stuff on here. And you'll notice that I'm spreading things out somewhat. Never fear, those colors will be all next to each other by the time we're done with this. If you're used to using a brayer with a gel plate, you're not going to need one with this technique. No brayer necessary, because the gel plate's actually going to do all of the work for us. So once you get the paint on there that you want, then it's time to fold this over. Yeah, folding it in half. Just like you'd fold a piece of paper, you can do that with a gel plate. These things are wonderfully flexible. And you'll notice that I'm pushing down and squishing that paint around by simply holding that gel plate nice and flat. Now this is the most exciting part. You let go and then it sort of releases itself and it goes full up right back open, and you've got your rainbow Rorschach test. Then you simply put a piece of paper on top of it, any kind of paper that you've got, you can stick it on there and take the pull. And when you lift it up, then you get to start thinking about, what do you see in here? Now in here, I see a hippo dancing on her tippy toes. What do you see within this one? Let me know in the comments, because it's going to be really interesting what we each see in these things. Now just because I've taken one print, it doesn't mean I'm done. There's a bunch of paint still on that gel plate. So I'm going to take another print. I'm going to do a ghost print. And on this one, wow, I'm seeing a lot more of like the hippo dancer there than I was on the first one. As long as there's wet paint on that plate, you bet I'm going to keep taking prints. Even though these prints are clearly related to each other, each one is their own. They're each a little bit different. And so as you pull up the different ones, you might start to see different things in them. Like as soon as I saw this one, I saw a big duck dressed to the nines in a rainbow tuxedo ready to go out and have a good time. Now there's not much paint left on this plate, but I'm going to see what I can get up with this. Because you never know. Sometimes you get an amazing print and sometimes you don't. It's kind of the fun and excitement of this when you don't know exactly what's going to happen. Well, I was hooked after the first one, so I kept making a whole bunch of these. And I found it absolutely fascinating and exciting that every one of them was so different. Now, there were a couple of things that I learned along the way, and that is the amount of paint that you use makes a difference. So a lot more paint squishes out a lot farther. And also how much pressure you use when you fold that plate over. So when I fold this one over, I'm not going to do a whole lot of pushing with it. I'm going to get some contact, but I'm not going to really go all in and super squish onto this print. But definitely on some of them, I love to use lots of pressure. And that's the cool thing. There's no right or wrong way to do it. It's just about having fun and seeing how that paint moves around for you. On this one, I'm seeing a circus character in a really colorful costume juggling. What is it that you see on this one? As you're taking the ghost prints, it will start to change ever so slightly, so you might see something different on a ghost print that you didn't see on the first one. Now, by the time I get to the very last pull that's going to come off of here, it's going to have the least amount of paint on the plate here with this fourth one that I'm going to do, and it gets a really abstract look to it. And with any of these, not just the last one, but any of them, feel free when you're printing, turn them around, look at them from different angles or directions, and see what else you see in them. When I look at this one this way, I'm seeing a big old transformer robot. Well, spoiler alert on this one. As soon as this gel plate opened back open after I squished it together, I saw a puppy dog. This wonderful rainbow puppy dog sitting there with big floppy ears, and we're seeing it from behind, and it's got this big pink tail. But that's what I saw when it opened. Before that happened, I had no idea what this was going to become. The gel plate is extremely flexible. the plastic that's on it that's protecting it, that kind of stuff, that's not nearly as flexible. So that's why when I'm folding it over, it's just the gel plate. If you've got any of the plastic protector sheets on it, that kind of stuff, like the stuff that it comes in the package when you get it, you just want to peel it off of that when you're folding it over to do this little Rorschach test. See, doesn't that look like a puppy dog? Am I crazy there? Wait, don't answer that question exactly, but let me know if you see a puppy dog in that. So I ended up in a little bit of an intellectual debate as I was taking these prints. Was I looking at the front of the puppy dog or the back of the puppy dog? And yeah, that was the great big debate going on in my head. When I was making the prints, I decided that it was the back of the puppy dog that we were looking at. But now that I'm doing the voiceover for this, I'm like, maybe it's the front of the puppy dog. And yes, these are the important things that are filling my head right now. Now, not every ghost print is amazing. Some of them are really ho-hum, like this one. For this Rorschach print, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a bundle of pressure. We're going to really have that paint squishing around here. On the last couple, I haven't used a ton of pressure, but on this one, I'm going all in. Now, if I use this much pressure, is that going to hurt the plate? Is this process of folding in half going to damage a gel plate? Well, it sure hasn't on mine, and I've made a whole bunch of these. As I push down, I squish down. I'm putting full force on this thing. And even if I hold my hand there for a moment, guess what? It's still just going to go back to the way it was. When I pull my hand off, it just goes flop right back to its original shape. So what are you seeing in this Rorschach print? What's jumping out at you about that? And I love that there are only right answers to questions when it comes to art, because it's a matter of what you see with it, what you feel with it. You can't go wrong when you're letting yourself play with your art supplies. This is just one of the many ways that you can use a gel plate. I've been playing with these things for years, and I have yet to run out of different ways to play with them, things that you can do with them, and effects that you can get. Pretty much the only thing that I haven't been able to get a gel plate to do is clean my house or cook dinner. But anything art-wise, this thing has been able to do it. I get different effects, different looks, different layering things that I couldn't get any other way. Now, if you're curious how to do those things, what are some other things that you can do with the gel plate, that type of stuff, and you can check out all the offerings that I have over on my website at acolorfuljourney.com. And yep, there's a link down below for you. As soon as this flopped open, I had an idea of what I was seeing in it. But when I took the first print, it didn't jump out to me exactly as that. It kind of looked like it, but it wasn't all the way there. And the same was true of the second print, same kind of problem. But by the time I got to the third one, it looked exactly like what I expect our brains to look like if we were having a brain scan done while we were making art, while we were playing with our art supplies. Now this fourth one, the super ghost one here, this one did not look quite so much like a brain scan to me. Now an actual true Rorschach test is a psychological test in which the subject's perceptions of ink blots are recorded and analyzed using various psychological interpretations, that kind of stuff. And so I'm kind of curious about all the stuff that we're seeing in these, what it says about us. When I saw the rainbow puppy dog sitting there in that one earlier, I know what that one connects to because I would so love to color my dog in those kind of colors. But never fear, I do hold myself back. I'm not going to do that to the dog, but man, would I love to do that. I'm kind of wondering what I'm seeing in this one, what it's saying about me, because I'm kind of seeing a bug in this one. Until I get all the way to the end, and then it completely changes into a fairy godmother. Yeah, the bug becomes a fairy godmother. Now let me explain exactly how that happened. When I hold it this way, it looks like a bug. Big eyes, antennas sticking up, that kind of thing, right? But when I turn it around this way, it is totally a fairy godmother to me. She's got the big wings there, and apparently it's a bug fairy godmother, but still a fairy godmother because maybe it's a bunny. It's a bunny fairy godmother. That's it, not a bug. And we got those big bunny ears going on there. Well, thanks so much for joining me here for a little silly rainbow Rorschach gel printing. If you've been enjoying this video, I'd so appreciate it if you gave it a thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more of my stuff, check it all out over on the website at acolorfuljourney.com. And of course, if you want to see more videos, hit that subscribe button. That way you'll know as soon as there's a new one out. Thanks so much for letting me be a part of your colorful journey.